Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the second episode of the New Media. I appreciate y'all for showing so much support and love on the first one. Let's run it up on this one. Hey, DJ, what's our topics for this episode?
Our topics today is Christian Wood to the Lakers, also Jackson Hayes on the side. We're gonna see how that fit works. We're gonna see their starting units, stuff like that. Next up is Team USA. They did lose to Germany in the FIBA World Cup. Me and Levi gonna go over some details about that, why we think they lost, how we think they could do better. Team USA coming back in the Olympics. Get ready for that. Get ready for that.
My dog, LeBron. It's his last shot. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Curry, LeBron, Tatum, Damian
Jimmy
Lillard,
Butler.
Bam
Everybody
Adebayo,
in their moment.
everybody coming. But
Everybody.
And then lastly, Levi's going to lead us with Nikola Jovic and Jacquez Jr. We're going to see how they fit for depth reasons. We're going to see how they're going right now in the Heat. You know, no Dame stuff today. We're going to look at the current Heat roster and just how that fit is. And so Levi's going to lead us on that one. So, Levi, let's open with Christian Wood to the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
So, I want to talk about that. His deal was a 2-year, $5.7 million deal for Wood, with a player option for 24-25.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's a small deal. That's definitely small numbers.
Definitely
It's
small.
definitely something that they just want to, like, the Lakers are obviously okay. I want to see how this works.
Yeah, it's a prove it deal.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
I think it's a good signing. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a good signing. I wish we had him, but
Listen, I'm not crazy up on it because
no, I'm not. Yeah,
I don't like. Yeah, exactly. I don't like Wood's defense.
I think that um I think that there are really only two teams that could have gotten the most out of him on that other side of the ball, and that's the Spurs, and that's us. You know what I'm saying? The Heat. I don't think that the Lakers are really going to use him or try to help him or emphasize that side of the ball. I think they're just going to use him as a way to, relieve the pressure off AD. Because remember, look, if you have a shooter next to AD, that opens up the floor. But go ahead. This is your thing. I don't want to take away from what you're saying. Go ahead.
No. You know, it's between the both of us. Last season with the Mavs, Wood averaged about 17.7 rebounds, and he shot 38% from three. Now you do know, last season, even though the Lakers they did get better after that trade deadline, they were an entirely new team. We know that. But
Sure.
for the season, the Lakers did shoot about 34%. I don't have the numbers for what they shot after the trade deadline, but 34% is below league average.
It was definitely a lot better.
Below league average. So, I think Wood brings a lot of spacing.
Yes, he does.
And I think that's good, but
Absolutely.
it's still just his defense.
But I think they'll probably use him as more of a like how they use Rui Hachimura in the Western Conference Finals. They're going to bring 80 at the
I do want to go over that. I was looking at some stuff up. They signed Wood, but Hachimura is still expected to start over Wood.
That's expected.
So I don't know their exact lineup, but based on what I read, I think their lineup right now is going to be D'Lo, Reeves, Braun, Hachimura, AD.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to get your opinion on that because I know Anthony Davis, he expressed multiple times to management, and they talked about that he does not want to play center, even though he plays his best minutes at center. I did some numbers on that. He has, in the 4 seasons he's been with the Lakers, in the last 2 seasons he's been playing most of his minutes at center. In fact, last season he played 100% of his minutes at center. But in the last 2 seasons with the Lakers, compared to his first 2 seasons where he played power forward, he has had more rebounds, higher average on that, higher block average, and higher points per game average on just a little bit better efficiency.
Yeah, I think him at power forward versus him at center, I understand why he wants to play power forward.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he came in as.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's very gifted at center. I think he could play both roles.
Yeah.
But it's more of a, I don't know. It's more of a, because if he's a power forward, that help defense makes more sense. You know, he can come in more like a Giannis and Brook Lopez type thing, even though Christian Wood is not Brook Lopez. You understand what I'm saying? He's still a big body in the paint.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know, to be honest with you. But AD, if you're saying his best minutes are at center, I believe you because I couldn't tell the difference. He plays the same. He plays like a center anyway. So
he does.
I don't know why, because he's not taking the ball up the court like Giannis. Because I can justify Giannis playing power forward because he got ball handling. He passes it. He's
Yeah, he's a
involved
point
with
forward.
pick and roll actions. He's doing all that stuff with the ball. So it's like,
Yeah, point
okay,
forward.
I can justify him not being a center because he's obviously gonna be out on the perimeter, be out in the mid range, doing stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. Even though he does operate mainly in the paint, he does utilize a lot of his playmaking and ball handling. AD
Yeah.
don't got that. He can do that. We've seen
Yeah.
flashes of it, obviously, but that's not his game. So
I,
yeah, I think he should be a center, but it's whatever. If it works
I
for the team,
think the
if he
main
gets the chip,
I think the main reason he doesn't want to play center is he just doesn't like the physicality at that center position. You know,
yeah, I
like
think I
he's
think
a good dude, but going up against people like let's say Brook Lopez or Jokic, those are real big guys. Like they got a size advantage on him, and he can definitely match up with them. But I think one thing that we did see in the playoffs is that who did he guard? They played Memphis. The Lakers played Memphis, right? I think it was
yeah,
on Jaren Jackson.
yeah,
That's a straight up rim banging center right there. And in the
yeah.
second round, who did they play?
They played the Warriors.
The Warriors, and he matched up
Yeah,
against Kevin Looney. That's a straight
and
up another straight up rim center. Like he's not doing anything. So AD's
he,
like fighting on these rebound battles, and then after that he had to go up and play Jokic, best player
yeah,
in the league.
it's just I best player in the league. I ain't gonna lie, I thought it was Giannis for the playoffs, and then
I'm giving it to Jokic. He won the Finals
hey,
MVP.
no, I'm not. I'm
He
not.
was
I'm not
balling.
saying. I'm not saying Jokic isn't. But I thought it was Giannis, and then that boy Jokic said, "Stop disrespecting me, Levi." And I was like, "My bad, bro. My bad." Came and dropped my
But
team at five.
and so the Lakers expected second unit. What I expect is going to be Gabe Vincent,
That
Jared
hurts.
Vanderbilt,
That
Cam
hurts.
Reddish, Christian
Hmm.
Wood, and then Jackson Hayes.
Yeah,
Which I put in my notes. I think that's a really big lineup. Like that's a really tall lineup. Like the
that's a tall lineup, and I think that's a very solid backup lineup. Especially if those people, if Gabe Vincent is hitting his shots and remembering how to pass,
but I don't know if Gabe Vincent has the playmaking skill to lead that second unit like that. I
I
think they
think.
might
I
be better
think.
off.
But you also, yeah.
I think
But
they
you
might
also
be
got to
better
remember
off
though.
D'Lo instead.
I think, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think you got to remember he's still relatively young. He's not an old
Mhm.
guy. I think if he really wants to, because you got to remember he started as a two. That was his thing.
Yeah.
He was shooting the ball, but we've seen him with the flashes and the passes and all that stuff. Yada yada. Sometimes you is right.
Shout out
He
to
do.
Vincent.
He do
He's
not.
still confident.
He be missing his open man. So I'm not even going to
Yeah.
even argue with that. Absolutely, I've seen it. I've been like, he'll run a pick and roll and try to pop out of it. I'm like, Bam is wide open in the paint. What are you doing? Just throw a lob at him. But it's
Yeah.
whatever. I think that if they make that a focal point for him, he will do that because you got to remember, he
I
wasn't.
see.
That was a focal point here, and we did see flashes and developments into him passing the ball more and being better at that.
I see.
But I think you may be right. I think maybe D'Lo should start at the six man off the bench with that bench unit, kind of like what Tyler Hero does for us,
Uh
because it would definitely help that team as far as the scoring and the playmaking he provides. Whereas with the starting lineup, the defense and just even if he doesn't have the best defense, he's such a pesky defender that
yeah.
I think Gabe Vincent, I think LeBron would probably love to play with him because it's basically his Patrick Beverly that can shoot a little better. But
Yeah, I see. I see. Just to wrap this up a little bit, I got like one more talking point for this. I put together my own starting unit. I think the Lakers should look at instead, and that's
you taking notes from LeGM, watch out.
Gabe at point, Reeves at shooting guard, Braun small forward, Hachimura power forward, AD center. And I was looking over this, and I'm thinking maybe keep the first three the same. Gabe at point, Reeves at shooting guard, Braun at forward, and then maybe slot in AD at the four and put in Hayes at the five. Because I do like
He's a good defender, right?
Hayes is
Or
a
a
good
really
defender and he's a
solid
lot.
defender.
He's very athletic. He's very athletic, like extremely athletic.
That's
He's a
understood.
he's a really big lob threat, and
Mm-hmm.
he is like a very capable defender. Like he's no, I'm not saying he's like Brook Lopez level or nothing like that, but he's a very
Yeah, but
capable
he's
defender.
a solid defender. But quick question for you, DJ. What do
Uh,
you think about AD and Christian Wood running together? I think that'd be good for the spacing purposes.
I think
Just
it would
that
be good for spacing purposes because now you have two big men that can shoot. I just
because you imagine
think it's
running a pick
good for
and roll
spacing
with
purposes.
him.
I just see a lot of weakness. Maybe I'm a defensive minded guy, so I see a lot of weaknesses with Wood.
I know what you're saying,
I don't like
but I
defense.
think I think I think about it this way: if you have
Mhm.
Christian Wood standing in the corner, and you have, let's say, LeBron or D'Lo running a pick and roll with AD,
Yeah,
you can't collapse on Christian Wood
I
because
agree.
the coach
He
is
can
going to
pop.
definitely get mad at you.
Yeah,
Even
he
even
can pop
even if your goal is to stop him, even if your goal is to stop AD or whoever is involved in that pick and roll
AD or
scoring,
LeBron.
if you give him an open shot, no, he hits. We've seen Christian Wood hit these crazy contested shots before.
Yeah,
He's
and
a
LeBron
if there's
loves
one
that.
thing,
LeBron loves spacing.
he's a good shooter. If that's one thing, he's a good shooter. So it's like I think, but I do understand what you're saying though. The defense does cause a lot of problems.
But
But
I do think that Reeves, Braun, and AD would make up for those defensive struggles. Just Hachimura is a better defender,
I've seen it.
especially with the
Yeah.
especially Hachimura has lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you noticed, but they
Oh,
posted pictures. Hachimura lost a lot of weight, so I'd expect lateral quickness to go up,
oh
agility to go up.
boy.
Plus, Hachimura
That
is
boy finally left Washington. I remember watching him in Washington and did not think he was gonna turn out to be much. But hey, maybe it was just the organization. He came to LA like a brand new person. So hey,
could be. Could be. But yeah, we're gonna wrap that up. I'm gonna move on to our next topic. Team USA. We faced Germany this morning.
unlike what happened in 45, we did not win this time, guys.
We did not win. This was the
Nine.
redeem team, and they just did not have it.
Why you
Defense
saying
again,
like
and I did put in our notes that
that?
I felt like Germany would definitely put up a fight, and they did. I think I have to check the score, but I think they might have won by like
1 or 2 points.
they won by two.
1 or 2 points. I remember watching the game. It was very close.
It
Even
was. Yeah.
even but it looked like the not the Heat, but Team USA could never really capture the moment. It was
Yeah.
just pass the ball to Anthony Edwards and pray he hits a shot. And I don't
Yep.
like that type of offense at all because we've seen that from Jimmy Butler. That's
Mhm.
not a fun thing to watch
I'm
for
not gonna
me.
discuss like this game though. I do want to note that Team USA was very heavily out rebounded, but I don't want to discuss this game specifically. I want to discuss Team USA throughout this FIBA World Cup, like overall. I think one
Absolutely.
thing to note is that they've had a lot of close games where they have been expected to win, and it's just been close. And maybe they've lost, but it's been close. Germany's been undefeated. Actually, I don't know if you knew that throughout
Yeah,
this whole.
they mentioned that when I was watching the game. Germany's undefeated. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing right now that Team USA suffered from, and I do want to talk about that, is lack of size.
Yeah,
I really think
definitely.
they just had a lack of size. Like their
And a
their
lot of
main
silly fouls.
a
A
lot.
lot of
I
silly
I read
fouls.
that. I was reading that Jaren Jackson Jr. was in a lot of foul
A
trouble.
lot of silly fouls. Like not even just Jaren.
Like, boy,
Not even just Jaren, but the whole team. It seemed like there was no real like defensive pre. Even they stopped playing Walker Kessler. I
yeah.
was like, okay, which they needed Walker Kessler in that last game. I'm not gonna lie, but go ahead to what you were saying, DJ.
Uh, I did want to know Germany out rebounded Team USA like by a good margin, and I like what was shown in this game was just what has been shown like all the entire World Cup. USA does not have the size. They did not have the size to compete. And another big thing, they didn't have the chemistry.
No, they did not have chemistry.
Not at all. This was a team that I feel like was just put together because we just like the USA is going to go out there and compete, so they just put together a team. But
Yeah,
this was not the team.
I don't even think they really even asked like the players that they should have asked to play. You understand what I'm saying, DJ? I think they was just like, yeah, let's just get these young guys together, man, and see how they
Mm.
play. I don't like that because the team construction.
That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I think it's good that these players got to go out and they got to get some good runs
Yeah,
in.
no, not
Like,
saying that is a bad
this,
thing.
this is the D tier team. Like this, like the best player was Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is a top 25 player best.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that the problem is that the team wasn't built around him. Not saying
It wasn't.
that everybody that they were expecting Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges,
They were
and
expecting us to just light it up.
They were expecting them to just walk in there and be like, "Yeah, we're gonna get buckets."
Yeah,
International basketball is different from the from NBA. It
very
is. Even
chemistry
though we
based.
see people, even though we see our superstars go in there and dominate, that is still the best of our country, and they have
Yeah,
lost. They have gone through close games with other teams. So if we're sending out the cream of the crop, like in 2012, back when we had Bron, KD, and Kobe, like they were
that's
still in
that's
some close
a
games.
different story, bro.
That's a crazy team.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
still though, it's like they still made the effort to form the chemistry that I don't think this team did.
I agree. I don't think this team. I just don't think this team was very well put together. I I think it was just thrown together, and I'm not 100% complaining about that. A lot
No,
of we know this. A lot of our big stars, they don't want to play.
they don't want to play
They just
FIBA.
don't.
They don't want to play
LeBron
FIBA.
has a gold medal. KD has a gold medal. Curry actually talked about how he does want to play because he does want a gold medal. But there's just let's be honest, right? How much does a
Mm-hmm.
gold medal really mean to players like LeBron, KD, or even let's go to the past, players like Michael Jordan, players like Kevin Garnett, Tim Duncan? When these players have NBA championships,
Yeah. The only
they have
person I can
championships. We
see
just
making an
last podcast
argument for is probably
to
like
allow.
someone like Tim Duncan. I mean, not Tim Duncan. Carmelo Anthony or Charles
Carmelo
Barkley because
Anthony
that
has a
adds
gold
something
medal,
to the thing. No, but I'm saying like
but
because how they didn't have
again,
chips, but it's like, even in that
doesn't really
sense,
add
it
that much.
a gold medal does not hold the weight of an actual NBA championship, so it doesn't inspire players to compete the way they would compete in the NBA playoffs.
And we did talk about this last podcast, the whole, NBA champions are not the champions of the world. Like, I get that. I get the technicality. But let's be honest, an NBA championship is worth so much more than any Olympic gold medal. Like let's be
I
completely
mean,
honest here. Let's be
the
completely honest. These
no,
players, they don't play in the Olympics. They don't play in FIBA because they want that NBA championship. Players come here because they want that NBA championship.
and
Look at
all
you,
the best players
Doncic,
on those
Nikola
teams,
Jokic cares about the FIBA World Cup like that. They do. They
no,
want to win. But guess what? Guess what's on their focus?
the
That NBA
NBA.
championship.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like that's why you see a bunch of our players not play, and even the best players on these respective teams, they either were or are in the NBA. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's like
A lot of them.
a lot of them, most of them, all the best, most of the best players from these teams were either in or were in the NBA. So it's like
I agree.
I don't really that whole thing was kind of stupid, but whatever.
And I did want to talk about. I'm just not sure about Steve Kerr's coaching.
Oh no,
Like you said, Walker Kessler did not play at all.
he did not play at
He's the
all. They
biggest
needed that
biggest
interior presence. They
Jaren
needed that
Jackson,
interior presence. Period.
right?
Yeah, Jaron Jackson is 6'11" and can't catch a board.
Walker
He's
Kessler was
me.
the only
He's me
true
on the
center.
defensive end. Hmm?
Walker Kessler was the only true center out there, and he was
Yeah,
just like
and they
rotation.
needed him. They needed
I,
him. Even if he was getting cooked in different situations, his presence alone is kind of like a Rudy Gobert thing where it's like, if you're going to have him, put him out there and use him. You know what I'm saying? Because
I
it's
agree.
like, why not? Even like as much as we sit here and make fun of Rudy, all
Uh,
the stuff we make fun of him for is not really his fault. He should not have to go on the perimeter and even guard these players.
he shouldn't, and when he
He should.
does, he can do it too. So
Yeah, like but the thing is, he tries, and I'm pretty sure
yeah,
I know Walker Kessler from the stuff I've seen. He was putting his effort in, but I
yeah.
don't know why he didn't play him because I'm pretty sure even Spo at one point would be like, okay, put this dude in, bro.
I think Spo should have been coaching. I'm not. I think
I
Spo is
think
a.
so. Coaching.
I think the issue with Steve Kerr is that he really did perfect small ball with the Warriors, and we gotta give him credit for that.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
he tried to go in small ball again for this FIBA, and we just got everybody had a big man, and we just kind of got killed on that end because
Yeah.
we had no true big men. Walker
Because even
Kessler,
yeah, because even if they made them miss playing great perimeter defense,
Yeah,
they got the board and they passed it out again, or they went up and hit the layup. You know how many and ones I saw because they caught it and just tipped it right back up again? It was
exactly.
like
Exactly.
they got
In fact,
gold tin.
I have some numbers on that. When they played today, Germany had 50 points in the paint.
Yeah, like I didn't know how much they had, but it was a lot because you could tell. Even though they had somebody lighting up from three, they knew they can't guard me. So I'm gonna run in the paint. I'm gonna get fouled because they don't have a true center out there, which is like,
Yeah. Germany had 12 offensive rebounds this game,
oh
and
my
it led to
god,
them getting 25 second chance points compared to Team
that's what
USA.
I'm saying. Look, if they get half of those rebounds, the USA wins the game.
I
But it's
I don't think Team USA necessarily played bad.
I don't think they played bad at all.
I
But
think it
I
was
think the
just
problem
that
is
difference that killed them.
it was the team construction. That's the
Yeah,
problem, and the
it
coaching too.
was.
Like, because even though that team wasn't the best team we've seen, I
Uh,
think they definitely had a chance to win the gold, especially with Serbia. I think they could have beat Serbia.
they more than had a chance. They just
I
didn't.
think it's like the Western Conference in the 2000s. If you make it out the West, you're most likely gonna win. They did not make it out the West.
They did. They did not make it out the
Nope.
West.
Kobe.
I mean, I hope for the Olympics next year we're back. You know,
I want to
I
see
don't
my
think we'll
dream team.
I don't think we'll see any big names play. I think Curry might be the biggest name. But you know what? If Curry comes out, I think there's a good chance he could draw
I
other
think if
players.
Curry comes out, I think LeBron will want to play with him.
LeBron, actually, I did want to comment on that. Sports Center had a post right where they just had a bunch of players in Team USA. They had Braun, Tatum, Curry, Damian Lillard, Bam, Jimmy Butler, KD. They had a bunch of players in Team USA jerseys. And Braun actually commented under that post with, like, you know, the little eyes looking to the side.
Yeah, I think like he said he wants to play with Curry. So
It
I
is.
think
I would like to see that. I think LeBron and
I
Curry.
would love to see that. I think that'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
And if they can bring out Jason Tatum, I think seeing Jason Tatum on the international stage will make me happy because I could watch him without hating on him for once. I could just be like, wow, this guy's a really good basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, he can't guard Jimmy Butler. Huh?
Maybe this guy's okay in the whole basketball thing.
Yeah, maybe he's all right. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm just playing. All the Celtics fans out there, bro. You know, it's all jokes. Shout out to Jason Tatum. He all right. Um, but yeah.
But you know, a little shout out to you know, Team Germany. They're going on to face.
Hey, shout out to Germany.
I think it's
Jovic. They going to face Jovic. Get ready for
Yo.
the fifth ball. Jovic finna
Yo.
hit you at the in out hezzy tween. He gonna step back. You know what I'm saying? He gonna pull up for the shot. You gonna foul him. He gonna hit it and he gonna get an N 1 3. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
luck against Jovic. But
Good luck
yes,
against Jovic.
Jovic for the goal.
Generational NBA player.
And then Team USA plays Canada. I don't know when. I think
I think
Sunday.
it's the same day. It's the same day. It's
Yeah,
before the game. Yeah, it's
same day.
before
Same
the
day.
championship game. Yep.
Team USA will be playing Canada. We're going up against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for the bronze medal. You know,
Shake
little
his-
matchup.
No. He's not the superstar on the team. What about Dylan Brooks? What about Dylan Brooks?
Womp womp.
What about but he's old. I poke bears.
All
Yeah.
NBA MVP player Dylan Brooks on the floor, baby.
All we won't re-sign him under any circumstances team Dylan Brooks.
I think Dylan Brooks is a very necessary player for the NBA, but that's a different discussion to have. That's not something.
Yeah, I think he's like Patrick Beverly, but not as
I
charming.
think Patrick
Um
Beverly is also a player.
I think Pat Bev is funny. So I give him a pass. Dylan
Those
Brooks is kind of
those types of players, all teams like really want those players. Even though like a lot of casuals be like, "Oh, Dylan Brooks is terrible. I would never want him." But like he brings something.
no,
That's a different discussion.
yeah.
That's a different discussion. Yeah. Good luck to Team USA on Sunday. You know, hope to see maybe the Olympics.
Hopefully you win something. Lock in for our tweak out.
Mm-hmm. You don't want Levi. You don't want Levi come on the court.
All right, let's
But
go.
we're gonna move into our next topic, and that's gonna be led by Levi, Nikola Jovic, and Jacquez Jr. We're gonna see how they fit and work with the Heat. So Levi, take us away. You got the rest of the podcast.
So we gonna start out with talking about Jaquez. Jaquez is a 4 year. He was a 4 year NBA player. I mean, NBA player, yeah, college player at UCLA. His game is modeled a lot after players like Kobe, Jimmy Butler. He reminds me of a mix of both of them in a sense. He likes to get to his spots, especially in the mid range. He tries to. He has a little post game. He tries to shoot fadeaways and things of that nature. He likes to work around the paint. He has a little. He has some hops, so he be dunking. He
Mm.
averaged 17.8 points. He averaged 8.2 rebounds and he averaged 2.4 assists. Now, on the defensive side, he's a very scrappy player. I wouldn't say
Yeah.
he's necessarily like one of the best defenders I've ever seen, but he
Like
definitely gives a lot.
he has the potential.
He has potential. He definitely looks like he has potential. I think
Mm-hmm.
if he ends up in the right situation, you know what I'm saying? I think here he'll definitely develop into that defender. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if he gets moved in any potential trades, wink wink, um
Mm.
you know what I'm saying? If he gets moved in any potential trades, if he goes to a team that is willing to invest in him defensively, I think he can become that player. I think offensively, he can be good.
Okay.
He's a good shot creator. He's solid from three. His 3 point percentage has gone down because he had to shoot harder shots because teams started guarding him better. But I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that when it's time for him to hit them, he will hit them, and he does
Okay.
shoot them enough to where I feel comfortable giving him the ball in those big moments and letting him shoot. And I think his fit on this team is going to be great. If he stays on the team, he's definitely going to come off the bench. He's definitely going to be more of a 6 man type of role. He's definitely going to get more minutes than Jovic did last year because he's a
How's
4 year
his slashing?
player.
How do you feel about that? Like,
Slashing, I think he has that Caleb Martin. I think he might be a little bit better than Caleb Martin slashing, even though he doesn't have the hops. I think
uh,
he's good at absorbing the contact and like
uh,
that in that type of way to where he's gonna get to the line.
I did think Caleb Martin suffered from that a little bit.
Yeah, because I think Caleb would need to. I don't even know. Would he have to bulk up or would he have to like get a little faster? He would have to. I think Caleb he needs to find ways to finesse his way to the rim. He
Yeah.
needs to find ways to just foul bait.
I don't know if you have this, but like, could you give me like a floor ceiling for Hawkins right now? Like, what you
Floor,
think? Like,
ceiling, floor,
current player, maybe
and
past
current NBA
players.
players floor. I want to say maybe like oh my gosh, bro, I don't even know who's a
Like, would you
two
say like
way
a standard
player.
3 and D
Hmm?
wing, a standard 3 and D wing?
I think he'd be a little bit more than that because I think he's more versatile offensively.
Uh huh.
But then again, though, I haven't seen him on an NBA court before,
Yeah.
so I think his ceiling is definitely someone of Jimmy Butler's caliber,
Okay.
somewhat of that All NBA All Star type thing, two
That's a
way
pretty.
player.
All NBA is pretty. Like, I can understand All Star. All NBA is pretty high.
All star, all NBA. Like it's that. If he like, I'm not expecting him to hit all NBA, but I could
Yeah.
definitely see it due to like the flashes I'm seeing. But I think All Star would be it. But if he did hit all NBA, I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I think his ceiling is definitely. Hmm?
That's kind of how I feel. I could see him being an All Star reserve. I definitely
Yeah,
could see him
I
with
could
a
see that.
lot of development. A lot of development.
Yeah, I think with a lot of development, but I think his floor would just be a starter, a
Mm-hmm.
solid starter, like someone like a I don't know. He'd be someone you want on your team,
Yeah.
definitely. It'd be more like a poor man's Jimmy in a sense.
I
Like
see.
if you took 75% of Jimmy Butler, he's obviously not going to be the best player, but you still want him around. The mentality, the
Mm.
skill, all that stuff. He offers a lot to a team. So yeah, but now I'm gonna move on to Jovic.
Mm-hmm.
Jovic is actually, I think, one of the more interesting players that he'd have drafted like ever. I think, like just because he's bigger, he moved the ball. He's basically a 6'11" point guard. He moves nicely with the ball. He passes it. He's a very good playmaker, like a
Okay.
very good playmaker.
The
Like
Hawkins lack that playmaking aspect. I wanted to ask that.
I don't think that he lacks it. I just don't think that was his focus when he was at UCLA. I think they wanted him to score.
Okay.
I think it's more of a if he was given the space to do it, he's
Mm.
gonna do it kind of like Jimmy Butler. Like we wasn't like I know people will be like, why you keep talking about him? Bro,
Yeah.
he was mainly a scorer. He developed that passing. I think he
Mhm.
can develop it because I think passing is probably one of the most easiest things for an NBA player to develop because it's literally just getting a feel for the floor around you and the people you play with. And once you
Yeah.
build that team chemistry, you're just gonna know where your player you know your players' tendencies, and also the defense is telling you where they are. If you see your man in the spot and they not in the spot, diamond. It's as
Yeah.
simple. But yeah, but I think Jovic, he definitely has that playmaking sixth sense.
Hmm.
It's it's really good. He as a shooter, Caron Butler definitely helped him with his jumper. He sets his feet faster. He has
I
a
saw
little bit of
that.
a higher release point. And one thing also, he's bulked up. He's put on some size.
I saw that.
So
FIBA,
now
he was launching a lot of shots. He was launching a lot of shots,
launching a lot of shots for
and
sure.
I
But
saw the dribbling skill too.
yeah, like I'm saying, he can move the ball. He can dribble it. He's not just dribbling with it. He's actually like actually moving, and it's like okay, I can see this.
Hmm.
And also, he like when it comes to the he put on a lot of weight. So he kind of moves like in a Giannis-esque way. Not saying he's exactly that, but I'm saying he's forcing his way to the rim.
Uh,
And he also has the soft touch and that jump shot. I think I would love to keep him. I think if he puts it all together, I can see that definitely being an all-star. I can definitely see him and on the defensive side, he's not terrible. I think because he has his length and he's tall, I think he can develop the I think he developed tendencies. I
yeah,
think with even if that's not going to be the focal point of this game of his game, I think okay, you need to stop last minute. I think you can keep him in. He's obviously going to make sure the ball doesn't go in the basket. I
yeah,
think he's a solid rebounder. And one thing I also like about him is even though he doesn't average a lot of assists, he doesn't stop the ball from moving.
okay. And
He
that's
keeps
yeah,
the
that's
ball
pretty
moving.
over the NBA. People look at assists,
Keeps
but
the ball moving. That's what I'm trying
I
to
think
say.
it's
People
a
don't
lot more than
understand. They
assists.
just look at players like Chris Paul and John Stockton and Russell Westbrook, but oh my God, they're great passers. Look how
Yeah,
many assists they have.
and they are
But I could count even more players in NBA history that just keep the ball moving because that throws off a defense.
exactly. Playmaking
Because
is a
it's
lot
easy
more
for me
than
to.
assists.
It's a lot more than assists. Exactly. Like it's easy for a defense to key in on a point guard if he's the only ball handler on the team.
Hmm.
But if not Jaquez, if Jovic is out there with Bam, with Jimmy, with Dame or Kyle Lowry. The point is, if
Yeah.
he's out there with all those people, even if his role is going to be somewhat relegated to a spot up shooter,
Uh huh.
you can still pass him the ball and he can run a little action with you. That
Hmm.
keeps the defense on their toes. And even if he's not the master of one thing, he's so good at all these little things. I think that would really boost him up when if he like if he puts it all together. I think if he puts it all together, we're looking arguably at one of the best sleeper picks, one of the best sleeper picks. Just
I, I
because,
I can see him also being. I think more than Hawkins at least. Like I can see Hawkins being like a good rotational player, but I can
yeah,
see Jokic definitely being an all star in the future. A lot
I
more.
I think I think if he really puts it
A
together,
lot more belief in Jovic.
I think yeah, me with Jovic, I think if he really puts it together, he's all NBA.
Yeah,
I think if he really puts it together, he's all NBA. Just
I think
because he's so he's so good at a lot of things. He's tall. And here's what I want to say also. If he puts that defense together, even if he's not running around here swatting shots and all that stuff,
even if
but
he's a decent defender.
if he becomes a decent defender, like he's playing in the lanes, like man, lock him in with Jimmy. Have Jimmy teach him how to play the lanes, bro. I'm saying if he becomes a respectable defender, you're not backing him down in situations. He's running in, he's blocking the shots at certain times. He's not running up fouls. I think that and because he's put on that weight, you can't just push him around anymore.
Yeah,
Like he's gonna be there. Like obviously there are gonna be some players that can push him around, obviously, but those players push around everybody.
yeah.
But he's definitely gonna he's gonna be there
I think he's definitely shown his value this FIBA World Cup. I think he's
for
definitely shown.
sure.
But
I wish a certain team from the Pacific Northwest would be hitting our line. You know what I'm saying? But
we'll see.
it
We'll
is what
see.
it is. They getting a second round pick. They better not charge me no more. Kyle Lowry in a second. I'm just playing. But yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got, DJ. That's all I got, DJ.
I think with that we're gonna wrap it up. This has been your host, DJ
And
Levi.
yes, sir.
Another episode of the new media. We'll have more for y'all. I hope y'all know it's gonna be weekly new content for the new media. Follow the
Weekly.
socials. We gonna link them. We gonna have this episode up for y'all soon. I hope y'all enjoy. Listen, if y'all want anything, just remember to DM us. Look at the polls. Look at the interactions that we have on the Spotify.
Yes, sir.
Just let us know.
We'll text y'all back as soon as possible if you leave a DM. Don't worry about it, man. We all show love to the supporters out here, bro.
Yes, sir, we will. But we thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for showing out. Lock in. Lock
Anyways, we'll
in.
catch y'all later. Peace.